Hi friends, welcome to a new episode of Let's Learn Civil Engineering Classroom. This video includes 100 previous year questions of examination for assistant engineer in Kerala PSC held in 2016. For more videos, please subscribe the channel and click the bell button for further notifications. Let's move on to the first question. A wet sieve analysis of fine particles is done if nearly all soil particles pass through square sieve opening of 0.075 mm. The plasticity index is equal to liquid limit minus plastic limit. If during a permeability test on a soil sample with a falling head permeameter, equal time intervals are noted for drop of head from H1 to H2 and again from H2 to H3, then which one of the following relation would hold? H2 square is equal to H1 into H3. The soil most susceptible to liquefaction are saturated fine and medium sands of uniform particle size. The angle between the horizontal and the maximum slope that a soil assumes through natural process is called angle of repose. A saturated clay layer with single drainage phase takes 4 years to attain 50% degree of consolidation. If the clay layer had double drainage, then the time taken to attain 50% degree of consolidation is, answer is 1 year. A comparatively sudden reduction in volume of a soil mass under an applied load is called initial consolidation. The law that states that laminar flow in a saturated soil, the velocity is directly proportional to hydraulic gradient is called Darcy's law. A foundation is considered as shallow if its depth is equal to or less than its width. A grillage foundation is essentially a spread foundation. The maximum bearing capacity can be expected from granite rocks. The type of foundation suitable for underwater structures is pier foundation. The most common sampler used for obtaining a disturbed sample of soil is open drive sampler. The ultimate bearing capacity of a surface strip footing on clay, according to Terzaghis theory, is 5.7 C, where C is the unit of cohesion. Negative skin friction on a pile under vertical compressive load acts downwards and reduces the load carrying capacity of the pile. An ideal fluid is one which is frictionless and incompressible. For a fluid in motion, if pressure at a point is same in all directions, then the fluid is said to be a Newtonian fluid. The point at which the resultant pressure on an immersed surface acts on it is known as center of depth. A flow in which the velocity of liquid particles at all sections of a pipe or a channel are equal is called as a uniform flow. The Bernoulli's theorem deals with the principle of conservation of energy. A pitot tube is a device used in the flowing fluid for the measurement of velocity. A hydrograph is a plot of stream flow against the time. A unit hydrograph method for flood estimation is applied to small and medium-sized basin. An aquifer that is confined at bottom and top is confined aquifer. Weirs constructed on permeable foundation are likely to fail due to piping or uplift. Rabi crops pertain to winter season. Duty of a canal water is expressed in hectare per cubic. Elementary profile of a gravity dam is a right-angled triangle. The measure of the amount to which light is adsorbed or scattered by the suspended material in water is called as turbidity. Blue baby disease is caused in infants due to drinking water containing higher concentration of nitrates. The commonly used indicator for measuring iron concentration in water is 1-ton phenanthrene. The suitable method for distribution system for a city with haphazard growth pattern is tree system. The settling of particles in a sedimentation tank depends upon length and width of the tank. A flotation unit is usually provided to remove oil and grease. A commonly used coagulant is alum. From septic tank, the effluents are discharged into sock pit. The maximum efficiency of BOD removal is achieved in digestion tank. Biochemical oxygen demand of wastewater represents the concentration of chemically degradable organic matter. Bulking of sludge can be controlled by aeration. An underground passage used by the pedestrians or vehicular traffic, etc. is known as subway. An ideal horizontal transition curve should be a parabola. A road connecting one town with another town is known as highway. The maximum allowable superelevation is 1 in 18. The best example of a rigid pavement is a concrete road. The first operation during a detailed survey of a hill road is fixation of benchmarks. The maximum design gradient for vertical profile of a road is rolling gradient. Bearing plates are used to fix flat-footed rails to wooden sleepers. Arrangement made to divert trains from one track to another is called turnout. Distance between inner faces of the flanges is kept double amount of the gauge distance. The place where a railway line and a road crosses each other at the same level crossing. Gauge of a permanent way is minimum distance between running faces of rails. The kind of survey work in which curvature of earth is ignored is called plain survey. As per Indian standard specification, the length of one link in 30-meter chain is 20 centimeter. Example for an obstacle that obstructs both chaining and ranging, a building. The instrument that is used for measurement of angles, sextant. The magnetic bearing of a line is 62 degree 20 minutes and the magnetic declination at that place is 2 degree 50 minutes east. Then the true bearing of that line will be 65 degree 10 minutes. In a plane table survey, the plotting of inaccessible points can be done by the method of intersection. For a mean sea level is established after analyzing the tidal fluctuations over a period of 19 years. A star is observed at its upper culmination when it's north of zenith. The latitude of the place of observation is 30 degree north and the declination of the star is 50 degree north. The zenith distance of the star is 20 degree. The method of leveling in which the height of mountains are found by observing the temperature at which water boils is known as hypsometry. The length of line measured with a 20-meter chain was found to be 634.4 meter. If the chain was 5 centimeter too long throughout the measurement, then the true length of the line is 635.986 meter. The vertical distance between any two consecutive contours is known as a contour interval. Spire test is used in permanent adjustment of a theodolite for adjusting the horizontal axis. The highest value of coefficient of refraction occurs at noon. The curve having varying radii and introduced in between a straight and a circular curve is a transition curve. Hooke's law is valid only within the elastic limit. The bending moment on a section is maximum where shear force changing its sign. The bending moment diagram for a cantilever carrying uniformly distributed load will be a parabola. The moment of inertia of a circular section about its axis is given by pi d raised to 4 by 64. A plane which is not subjected to shear stress is known as a principal plane. The unit of torque in SI unit is Newton meter. In a cantilever beam, tensile reinforcement is provided on the top of the beam. Euler's formula is not valid for mild steel column when slenderness ratio is less than 80. The thickness of cylindrical shell is designed on the basis of hoop stress. The stress at which a material fractures under large number of reversal of stresses is called endurance limit. In a closed coil helical spring subjected to axial load, other quantities remaining the same, if the wire diameter is doubled, then the stiffness of the spring when compared to the original one will become 16 times. A soil having uniformity coefficient less than 4 is called as a uniform soil. The maximum size of a clay particle is 0.002 mm. The ratio between the total volume of voids and the total volume of solids is called void ratio. The most accurate method of determining the water content in a sample of soil is calcium carbide method. Who says that every judge is an activist, either on the forward gear or on the reverse? Justice Krishna Iyer. When a non-member of parliament is inducted into the Council of Ministers, he must become a member of parliament within 6 months. Who was the first chief minister of Tirukochi? C. Keshavan. Which of the following committee suggested the inclusion of a separate chapter on the fundamental duties in the Constitution of India? Swaran Singh Committee. Sadhujana Paribalana Yogam was found by Ayyangali. Who said, "Give me blood and I will give you freedom"? Subhash Chandra Bose. Who is the chairman of National Farmers Commission in India? M.S. Swaminathan. We have borrowed the concept of directive principles of state policy from the Constitution of Ireland. Who is the President of France? Francois Hollande. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place on 13th April 1919. The festival Mamangam was celebrated once in 12 years at the bank of the river Bharatapuzha. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had described which of the fundamental rights as the heart and soul of the Constitution? Right to constitutional remedies. The financial relation between union government and states are discussed in the Indian Constitution under Article 268 to 281. The name associated with Misra Bhojanam in Kerala, Sahodharan Ayyappan. If God were able to tolerate untouchability, I would not recognize him as a God at all. Who said it? Lokmanya Tilak. Who proposed the preamble before the drafting committee of the Constitution of India? Jawaharlal Nehru. Privy purse was abolished by which one of the following Constitution Amendment Acts? 26th. The Logayukta and Ubalogayukta Act was first passed in Odisha. The concept of public interest litigation in India relates to accountability. Who raised the slogan, "Do or Die"? Mahatma Gandhi.